Hello, my name is Joshua Davis, and this is how I made Tic Tac Toe. This is my menu. I'm going to choose X. X gets to go first. If the player wins, it says so, their score goes up, and all the squares turn green. The opponent wins, it all turns red. If nobody wins, it turns blue, and there says no winner. I'll show you the menu. X goes first, so they go. Alright, now I can show you the code. This is the menu button. So I have it here where whenever it's clicked, then it uses the restart method, and it sets the menu to true or active. I have an array of all the cubes. If I choose X, this is the actual menu here. If I choose X, then it tells all the blocks that I'm X, and it tells all the blocks that the opponent is O's. And it sets the menu to not active so that it will be out the way. And this here is the opposite of this. So if I chose O, then it tells all the blocks that I'm O and that the opponent's an X. And it changes the turn so the X will be first. Alright, this is the restart button. I have another array of all the cubes. And whenever it gets clicked, and it calls this. And this sets all the blocks in the array to not clicked. It changes all the materials back to the original and sets them to white, and it makes the player's turn be true again, so that the player can go. And this sets who the current player is at the center of the screen, and this is the who's winning at the top right of the screen, the winner. This is the win state. I have another array of all the cubes, and I have an array here that shows the colors, and I also set the scores to 0. Okay, so whenever the win state is called, first I check for all the colors. If they're set up in a way that they're green, then the player won. And I change who won to the player at the top right of the screen. And for all the cubes, I go through and I make them all click so they can't be clicked again, and I change them all to green to show that the player won. And I make the score go up for the player. Now, if the opponent won, then I search all the reds and see if they show that he won. If he did win, then I change the material at the top right to be the opponent so that it shows that he won. I change all the blocks to click so they can't be clicked again, and I change all the colors to red to show that the opponent won. I make his score up. This here checks to see if all the squares are used. If they are all not white, then it shows that there's a tie, and I turn it all to blue. Alright, this is the CPU, or the computer player. I have another array, and this array is for the bools to see if the blocks are actually clicked or not. So whenever it gets called, it goes through and checks to see if they're all clicked. And now it checks for a number between 0 and 9 being the 9 blocks. If the block that it chose is not clicked already, then it calls this to click it. And this here checks to see if they've all been clicked. If all these have been clicked, then nothing happens. If they all haven't been clicked, then it does it again until it finally picks one that's not been picked already. Alright, I didn't know how to instantate, so I used materials for X and O's. The player choice gets chose at the beginning. Alright, so whenever one of the blocks is clicked, then it checks to see whose turn it is. If it's the player's turn, then it makes the block clicked and it changes its color, and it changes the turn. It's the same thing for the opponent. If it checks right here whenever the color's called, then it checks to whose turn it is. If it's the player turn, then it chooses an X or an O, whatever the player chose, and it turns to the green if it's the player and red if it's the opponent. Alright, so this is what actually turns the turn or changes the turn. So if I wanted the computer to be more human-like, so I made him wait for 25 frames. And right here, before before it changes turn, I check to see if the last player won. So if it's the player's turn, then I make it not the player's turn, and I show that it's the opponent's turn, and I make him wait, like I said earlier, before he actually calls the CPU's turn. Now, if it was the opponent's turn, then I make it the player's turn, and I change to show that it's the player's turn. And this is how I made Tic Tac Toe. My name is Joshua Davis. Thanks for watching.